And it's a very good afternoon and welcome to HUFC TV, streaming live across the country and across the globe. Thanks very much to Limitless this afternoon, your match sponsor on HUFC TV, Secure Destruction. Tell you more a little bit later. It is Heidelberg United hosting the Melbourne Knights in a clash of the two former NSL heavyweights here this afternoon as we talk over the stadium announcer, who happens to be John Fodinos. It's Greg Blake on deck along with Dougie Hodgson. Good afternoon to you, Dougie, and before we go anywhere else, great job on Wednesday night of calling the Doherty Cup final success of Heidelberg. After 59 years, the club claims the oldest trophy in Australian football.
And what a night it was, Greg, and I have to admit you were missed. I know it was your birthday, and I heard you had a great birthday, and the birthday was fantastic.
So if you're just joining us, it is Heidelberg against the Melbourne Knights. A couple of technical hitches, but we're there. It's Doug Hodgson, John Fodinos, and yours truly, Greg Blake. Thanks to Limitless Secure Destruction. And it's Heidelberg with first use of the football. It's round 21 of PS4 NPL. And we are streaming live across the globe and across the country. Good afternoon. I think this time
Are we live?
I'm not sure. We're getting some signals from our production team, but let's assume that we are live. And it's Heidelberg hosting the Melbourne Knights. What a big week for the club. We are just 10 seconds into a currently scoreless game. Good afternoon again, Doug Hodgson. Good afternoon, John Fodinos, the A team at the Doherty Cup final last Wednesday night.
G'day, Greg, and g'day, Dougie. I reckon between us we've got about 138 layers of clothes this afternoon.
Cahill got past two tackles and in the end drew the foul for the Melbourne Knights.
Yeah, did well, Cahill, that time. Kept his feet well, but eventually the third challenge, I think, got him.
Well, the one thing you'd have to say is that any emotional letdown for Heidelberg after that hugely emotive Wednesday night victory in the Doherty Cup doesn't seem to be apparent at this point. It's been a great start, promising to be a competitive game here at the Village. It's going to be Kim Harris or Danny Dixon. It'll be Kim Harris. Takes a deflection and around the post.
I'll tell you what, wasn't far away there, Greg. Came off the deflection off the wall there. Might have been... Let's have a look at that on the replay. It was Dumbalis, I think, or Jack Petrie on the edge of the wall there.
Indeed, Jack Petrie. Yeah. And through the legs of Luke Biles as well. So corner the Melbourne Knights. They've given as much as they've taken in this opening 15 minutes. Melbourne Knights up for the contest. HUFC TV. The hyphen got his right fingertips to it. Not away by O'Brien. Driven back in by Dixon. Top of the box. Kenny will get a somewhat fortuitous run at the ball. For long. Who knew? Throw into the Melbourne Knights. We've played 16 and a half minutes and we have no score at Catalina Street this afternoon. It's a gorgeous winter afternoon. Hooked back into the danger zone. Cahill on the ball. Reefed clear. Ellis lofts it. Kenny with the run. Mehdi Martin is the man that affected the spoil. So Melbourne Knights without a win for many, many weeks now. Round 14 was the last time they posted a W, the Melbourne Knights. Header under pressure away from Timmins was good. Harry Noon, forceful, belts it. And Harry just about nailed it as well.
See that on the replay, boys. Talk us through that one, Dougie.
It's done well there. Great touch. Had to look up. It was dipping. Just wasn't enough dip at the final end, but I'll tell you what, he knew where he was going. He gets in some great areas, Harry Noon, in that final third.
And you know he's not going to die wondering ever, is he, Dougie?
No.
Hey, I don't know if I've mentioned Dougie and John, Limitless Secure Destruction. Waste Management Experts, our matchday sponsor on HUFC TV, 1300 9545 76. If you want your waste managed. Free kick, much to the chagrin of the Heidelberg fans, and they are out in reasonable force this afternoon.
This is always a well-attended fixture, this one.
Two powerhouses of the old National Soccer League. Hicks lofted. Hooked away by Les Dumbalis to safety.
Goodness, mate.
20 minutes away, HUFC TV, scoreless game, round 21 action. PS4 NPL. Free kick driven. The Melbourne Knights away by the King. Spectacular stuff from the Melbourne Knights player who's claiming that perhaps his legs were taken from under him. But it's a Heidelberg free kick.
Tommy Cale that time going for the rather acrobatic effort, mistiming it completely.
Hey boys, Jay Fight and Dougie, Melbourne Knights looked good in the early going, haven't they?
They have indeed.
Mate, I reckon, like I said earlier, they're not sitting 12th. You know, they're not the type of team that looks 12th at the present moment in time because they are most definitely in that final third at the moment. And Heidelberg's only been down there 2 or 3 times.
Oh, that was deft by Obi through the challenge. Spears it down the sideline. Ellis inside for Kenny. Might get a look.
Cannot be,
Flag up.
Sorry, let me say this. Did that come off a Heidelberg player or did it come off a Melbourne Knights?
It did.
It's the only thing I'll ask. Can we have a look at that
replay?
replay?
There's George Katsakis to the low.
If that's came off a Melbourne Knights player, it's not offside.
Well,
Can we have a look, sweetie?
he didn't nail it anyway. But that's a good call from you,
Georgie's back
Dougie.
in the bench. Georgie's been told,
Oh,
get back in your
he's
dugout.
making exactly the same point, I suspect.
Can I say something here, boys?
No.
Heidelberg, but I'm going to.
Quite frankly, no.
Heidelberg has changed dugouts.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
said
yeah,
that last
yeah,
week, yes.
the last
Well, I
time.
wasn't here. I was in
Bengali.
Vietnam.
Yeah,
Okay, I was in
you
La
were.
La Land, and still are.
Vietnam or
It-
Vietnam?
Him too.
It's-
Right. Why? Can we ask why?
I think it was...
I think it's a superstition thing,
Some
to be
sort of
honest.
Yeah, well, and I get that, being very superstitious when it comes to
The
football.
last
Anyway.
game we've been playing over in that box.
Fraser Chalmers,
But
O'Brien.
we've won all the games in the other box.
O'Brien. Well, we didn't. We lost that home game 2-0 to Oakley.
And then he
yes, of course,
changed.
and then he changed. So
Changed and won the 2-0 game against Green Gully. So.
I understand that.
Sean,
Well done.
Sean Timmins with the throw-in. We played
Thanks.
22, and nobody has troubled the scoreboard attendant yet.
Thanks
Has
for
he?
clearing that up, boys.
We do the
I was
best we can.
jet-lagged.
Zara drags it in. Dumbalis on the overlap. Dumbalis spears it in. Didn't get the angle he would have liked. Harry Noon. Again, just off target with the delivery then. And straight to Fraser Chalmers of the Melbourne Knights.
Harry Newman will look for O'Brien on the outside. O'Brien looks to come back and start again. Melbourne Knights just walking out, which I would like to see them a little bit quicker. And they'll just come around the clock to start the ball again. Not pressuring, just keeping the ball. Good possession. Biles, does he get the call? Yes, he does. Silly there by Pat Petrie's on his way back. The big centre forward takes his touch, paces out of Clayton down, 1 leg over, 2 leg over, outside run, strikes.
Great
The
save.
and then miss the bar, still isn't finished. Pace cleared away in there, but I'll tell you what, boys, bit too laxy daisy for my line. We'll go back to in a second. Back out the Elvis. Zimbalis will get back. That came from an attacking situation from Heidelberg. Just no, put the ball in the system. You got bodies in there, whack it in. Ball's underway. King Kenny. We've got end-to-end football, boys.
This has been a really good half an hour of entertainment on HUFC TV, and Melbourne Knights having much the better of the game, I would have thought, in the opening 32 minutes.
Once again, they've given it away, Dougie.
Kim Harris tried to hit the gap,
So
hits
we
the
can
deck.
Let's have a look at that on the replay again. That Melbourne Knights, it was Harris with the ball. He had Cale on the overlap. The first one was charged down, and then the secondary shot hits the bar. And in many ways, that's symptomatic when a team's struggling. That's what seems to happen. If you're doing well, that sort of goal seems to go in. And that time he hit the bar, did Tom Cale.
Dumbalis hesitates for a nanosecond. Glancing header clear by the player coach, Ben Surrey, Melbourne Knights' third coach of the campaign, as you were pointing out earlier on, Dougie.
Third time lucky, maybe. Hopefully not today.
Petrie for pace.
It was when I used to watch it. It begins.
Ruben chested down. Gets stolen by Timmins. Timmins with a stutter step into midfield. Coughed it up far too easily. Ruben, can he find a way? Ruben way around the body. Zara gets a push and a shove. That was a little bit more blatant. Play allowed to continue. Harry Noon looking for Kenny. Back post is Ellis. Goalkeeper did really well. He bobbled it and pushed it and shoved it and managed to drag it in at the last minute. The man in purple, Fraser Chalmers.
Just didn't sit right for him. Just couldn't get that ball down quick enough. She bobbled up there. Here we go. Look at that great ball in. Flicked over. There's Shawnee Ellis just waiting for it to come down. Out come the man in purple and done what a goalkeeper should have done. Attack the ball and put his two mitts around it.
Hey, what it was Kenny Athy there, I noticed, just almost dummied that header. He had a chance to put the head on the ball, but he might have had the call from Sean Ellis that time, who, as you said, Doug, he just couldn't get the foot around it.
Just bobbled in there, a bit bouncy.
So Heidelberg lead the league on goal difference currently. If this score remains the same, they will move a point above South Melbourne and 4 points clear of Bentley Greens. Dumbalis lofts one deep downfield for Kenny.
Good time to score,
Did
Blakey.
really well. Kenny poked it through the gap, then got his leg taken out from under him. It's going to be a free kick. This may well be the last play of the game. We've had the time added on.
Could this be the one, the moment? What a great time to put one in the back of the net. Just
Well, it's
before
always a good
half
time,
time. Yeah, true. They're cool.
Let's be reasonable about this. So there's going to be jumping jack to take the free kick from an angle. Hands on hips. He wants to unleash quickly. Does jumping jack near post. Kenny.
Handball!
Oh, that is a
Penalty!
handball, and it is a
Sorry,
penalty.
Blakey, for
No
talking
question
over you,
about it.
son.
Absolutely no question about that. So it wasn't the strike that we expected, but it was certainly
The captain.
the handball.
Flicked in by
have a
Kenny
look.
there.
There it is.
Yeah, no question about it.
No
boys.
question, son. No question. All referee spot on there.
So
Most
in
definitely.
stoppage time in this first half, Kenny, who scored 14 in the league this year, 23 in league and cup, looking for the go-ahead goal after the penalty conceded by Ben Surrey, the player coach of the Melbourne Knights. Really, this is Kenny against Chalmers. Nails it. And it's 1-0 Heidelberg. Kenny from the penalty spot deep into first half stoppage time. A tough one for the Melbourne Knights. They've given plenty in this first half, but Heidelberg will get the go-ahead goal, and there will not be many seconds remaining in this game.
I tell you what, though, Johnny, did King Kenny take one on Wednesday night? Because
He did,
that
he
was
did
a
indeed.
sensational penalty.
He did indeed.
Just taking the cobwebs out of that top right-hand corner of the Able Sports goals there.
And how psychologically what that will do to the Melbourne Knights, you'd think they've been really good this first half, and to concede a goal right on the stroke of half
Right
time.
on the stroke
And
of
I
half
actually
time.
feel for him too. I actually feel for him because they had definitely. Do they deserve it? Obviously, probably not, but it was a penalty.
They've given
Yeah,
us...
let's have a look at that on the replay, boys.
Very clear. Have a look at here. Very clear. Ball whipped in. Have a look. There's the run. There's the movement. You can see number 4 there. Ball's going underneath King Kenny's. There it is there.
PS4 NPL around the grounds very, very shortly. It's 1-0 Heidelberg at half-time. The King, Kenny Athiu, scoring the go-ahead goal right on the cusp of half-time from the penalty spot. Barless, nothing like Wednesday night, though, apparently. It was Baltic cold.
Very
Is that
Baltic
right?
up
Baltic
north.
cold?
Baltic cold up north, son.
You have no idea what you're talking about, do you? Oh, Stephen Pace pops one in the air. They might get lucky, and they do. It's the King on the path for Harry Noon. And a spectacular fall from Harry Noon draws a free kick.
I think he was trying to let the referee know there that he might have got clipped.
Then he might... It's going to be Shawnee Ellis to wind it up. Left foot. Screamer! Just wide of the mark.
Was not far
How
away.
wide he done all right there, boys, and it had some over that wall and down. We've got a replay on that one, Johnny. Sweetie's in there. Look at him, just as he stands on the ball today.
Francis Ford Coppola, our guest director this afternoon.
Look at that, nice little good distance for Shawnee Ellis. Up and over, gets it over, just doesn't get it on target. Tell you what, Arena would have been underneath the goalkeeper there, Chamberlain, if it had it. Back to this game, though, goes to the other goalkeeper. Looks the boys to go wide, looks the throw. Obviously, fair bit of pressure coming in there by the boy off the bench. Number 8 for Melbourne Knights.
Kamal Ibrahim, Dougie.
That's the one. Knights.
And it's jumping Jack Petrie with the 5-step drop. Deep into enemy territory, but safely into the arms of Fraser Chalmers.
At least put him in the ball in the net. Could have at least hip and shouldered.
You bargain lad, my day.
He'd have been in back net.
In my day. He'd been back net. Sean Ellis on the charge. Sean Ellis will earn the corner for Heidelberg, second in quick succession.
He shouldn't be allowed to take it that easily.
Harking back to the good old days when physical assaults were a regular occurrence. Doug Hodgson, you'd know all about that. Sean Ellis
Great ball.
at the corner, testing one. Goalkeeper just palms it down, and in the end, the player coach had to head it away to safety. And again, just
King Kenny's having a bit of a talk. Let's have a look at this. What a ball in here. Whipped in. Great ball in. Look at that. Up it goes. No one there. Where's the yellow shirts? 3 readies. Their opportunities come claim.
another corner to Heidelberg. Ellis, the danger man.
I can feel it in my bones,
Third
Blakey.
time lucky. It's going to be the factor with the corner. Ruben Way runs for the short ball.
Which bone, Dougie?
The funny bone.
Funny bone.
Ellis ignores Ruben. Lofts one this time. Deep far post, and Chalmers one hop backwards and reels it in. Harry Noon threatening on the far post. Chalmers. Hicks sold the dummy well. It's Ibrahim. Picked off. Petrie for trigger.
Didn't really pull the trigger. But
Scuffed it a wee bit, Dougie, but gee, they're turning the ball over there a couple of times there, the Melbourne Knights. You see that on the replay.
some dangerous areas there. Look at in here. He's came in. Just didn't clearly strike it technically. Goalkeeper watched it, had his eyes all over it as it wanders out for a goal kick.
Hemi or a calf there.
So if you're just tuning into HUFC TV, it's a 1-0 game. Kenny Athiu, the king, from the penalty spot just before half time. Sean Ellis in. Kenny header on.
Whoa.
Great stop. The palm over the bar from Fraser Chalmers.
Yeah, did well. Kenny Athiu, free header. There'd be some questions asked in that Melbourne Knights defence. He got free, got the header on target, and Chalmers with an acrobatic tip over the bar, keeping the Melbourne Knights in the game.
Sean Ellis with the corner for Heidelberg.
Isn't he magnificent with that delivery of that ball? It's always a dangerous whipping ball. He's done it again there.
Acrobatic header at the back of the pack, and Jack Petrie can't keep it down, but he wasn't far off the mark. That they have a lifeline available to them in that battle against relegation. Hicks, Kenny with the header away. Chased down by Trigger. Booming shot off the bar. Woodwork denies Luke Jurcic. And that's the second time today that the Knights have been denied by the width of the woodwork.
Let's have a look at this thing here. Ball goes out, just sits there, pretty strucks. There it is. Takes a touch, under, just turns, struck, and I tell you what, that was moving.
And he was well beaten too that time, and eventually it came way off the bar, and the Burgers maintained that lead just, boys.
Clear your line and ever so well. We are into the last probably 5 minutes, basically 3 minutes of real time. We'll probably have 2. Long throw in, up it goes, in comes the keeper, clears away, gets 2 good hands to it. Studs up, whipped in, not a bad ball in, up comes Ivan, cleared, hit the
on
post,
the
cleared,
post.
still out there. Referee says it's out, says the linesman. Corner. Or is he giving it? Yep, he's giving the corner. Tell you what, has Heidelberg gone screaming there.
They've hit the bar twice and the post once. The Melbourne Knights, should they not get a result here, can walk away feeling a little hardly done by it.
Have they had the better opportunities?
You can't get closer than hitting the post and the woodwork, can you?
Nearly an OG there, Blake.
Hard in mouth stuff.
Look at this, though.
Hard in mouth.
We've got a replay, have we, Sweetie? After the corner, we'll come back to it.
Tell you what, they're peppering the goals, aren't they, boys?
Not a bad ball. Plenty of space in that one. Up goes Kenny. In. Off the line by Air Jordan again. Closed down by Ruben Way. Sahar goes to it.
Svetkovic, good win.
Ran out of space, though. He's going to Bell Street.
88 minutes played. Heart stopper.
There was that other one that hit the post, boys. This ball was played in by the Knights and it was off Theodorides, and it was, who was it, Dixon in there, the player that was almost substituted off.
Well, the stakes are huge in this last minute and a half here at Catalina Street this afternoon. Can Heidelberg hold their nerve with this finishing flurry by the Melbourne Knights? Can Akaris? Right, left, hits Ellis.
As we're going into what we got, Blakey.
Distance and time on that, that's all he was wanting. 20 seconds remaining in stoppage time. It's a heart stopper in the end here at Catalina Street. Thanks to our cameraman Paul, to our production guy Nick. Thanks to you, Jay Fott. Thanks to you, Dougie, as we hit the dying moments of the game. Cleared by Surrey. And that is all she wrote for this one, as the referee brings down the curtain on this round 21 PS4 NPL game. It's an absolute... Look, the Melbourne Knights players are absolutely shattered.
They're all dead on their feet up there on the ground. And what a finish, boys, by the Melbourne Knights. They took about 80 minutes to really spark up, but they threw the kitchen sink at the Burgers in the last 10 minutes.
I'll get you to quickly summarise, but let's just do a quick recap. Thanks to Limitless Secure Destruction Waste Management, their support this afternoon. So the Melbourne Knights have come here and certainly asked the question of the Doherty Cup winners of Wednesday night. They've been denied by the woodwork, not once, not twice, but thrice. But all it took was for a penalty literally in the last seconds of the first half from Kenny Atheu to give us this 1-0 scoreline, and Heidelberg scramble 3 points clear at the top of the PS4 NPL once again as this riveting season continues for the boys from the Olympic Village, John Fodinos and Dougie Hodgson. To summarise.
Well, Dougie, Greg, it wasn't pretty in the end. Just the first half penalty right at the death there at the first half, enough to secure the Burgers a valuable home 3 points at the end of a really dramatic week in which they took out the Doherty Cup, and they were dead on their feet in the end. But a big 3 point win in the end, just enough with the Melbourne Knights fast finishing.
So although Johnny and Blake, most definitely, I think Melbourne Knights can walk away off this ground very proud. Very unfortunate, obviously, not to get a result here. It could have been 1-1.
Especially with that result. Just to update you once again, it appears that St Albans may have upset Kingston. Our last was a 2-1 scoreline. Do we have a final score from...
2-0, 2-0 in fact.
2-0. So St Albans get a lifeline and offer one to the Melbourne Knights. Dougie, you've got a special interview coming up.
Most definitely, so you guys are just leaving me. That's okay, just down the market, away we go.